I said I do roofing and I tie rebar, but because of the weather, sometimes it rains, sometimes it don't. There were times where I don't work, so I started working at Golden Chip instead. Because I'd be able to work more or less, my 40 hours, more, maybe more if I could get extra hours.
So do you think it's dangerous to be on a roof and high?
Actually,
Or you just smoke on your off time?
I smoked because it was really the holiday, but yeah, it was really the off time, I guess, since we didn't work.
I mean, it was Christmas. So instead of celebrating Jesus's birthday, you decided to do bowls of marijuana. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 6751 and 2024 CR 10332W, State versus Nadab Garcia. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense.
Megan Enriquez for Nadab Garcia.
And are you Mr. Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, in each of these cause numbers, have you received all of the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, in each of the cause numbers, did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision with your attorney and did you sign it?
Yes.
And the cause number ending in the letter W, did you review the document entitled Waiver of Indictment, Reading of Information and Rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Did you understand that you have a right to have a grand jury hear the evidence in this case and make a decision on whether or not to hold you over for trial? Did you understand your attorney has 2 days from the presentation of the information and 10 days from the presentation of the information to prepare for trial? Did you understand by entering into a plea bargain agreement in this cause number, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement under that cause number? And that cause number, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. And that cause number, did you review the information with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
All right, if we can go off the record for a moment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And counsel, do you waive the reading of the information?
We do, Your Honor.
And state, are you proceeding on both paragraph A and paragraph B?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then, and the cause number ending in 5-1, did you review the indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented in that cause?
Yes.
And the cause number ending in W, it appears that you're charged with driving while intoxicated with a child 15 years or younger in paragraph A and paragraph B. Those are state jail felonies. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? And the cause number ending in 5-1, you're charged with unlawfully carrying a weapon with a felony conviction. That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And each cause number, if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And each cause number, you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses. The state will call in the right to remain silent. Did you understand? Did you understand by entering into plea bargain agreements in each of these cause numbers, you're giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into pleas in each cause number? Counsel, in each cause number, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, in each cause number, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
In each cause number, has anyone promised you anything other than the plea? And each cause number, are you satisfied with the way you're been represented? And each cause number, are you a U.S. citizen? And each cause number, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. And each cause number, did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And the cause number ending in W, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. The state recommends community supervision, and I'm assuming there's no application, is that correct? For deferred?
No application for deferred. That's correct, Your Honor.
This is the run concurrent with 2024 CR 6751. The state will take in consideration night mag number 743942. And there's to be regular random UAs in the VIP and DWI intervention. Did you understand that to be the plea in that cause number?
Yes, ma'am.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There'll be a top evaluation and 200 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? In the other plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting your punishment to be at 5 years in the prison. The state recommends community supervision and there's no application for deferred, correct?
That's correct.
This is to run concurrent with 2024 CR 10332W. And the state will take in consideration night mag number 743942. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommended that community supervision be for a term of 5 years, and there'll be 200 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
And each cause number, did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then in cause number 2024 CR 6751, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Contest.
And in cause number 2024 CR 10332W, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Contest.
And is that no contest plea to paragraphs A and B? State any evidence.
No objection
All right,
in both cases.
thank you. In each cause number, did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
I did, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
In each cause number, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, in each cause number, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We just respectfully ask the court to follow the plea bargain that we've reached with the state. We do believe he's motivated to be successful on probation, and we're grateful to the prosecutors for looking into everything. This was set for a discovery compliance hearing, but the prosecutor was able to send some emails and get their discovery that had been outstanding for 10 months. Was able to get it, and we were able to get the cases resolved, so we're grateful.
All right, so who is allowing you to be around their children? Well, I mean, at the moment, no one, unless they're letting children come to the Bexar County Jail, which I don't think they do that anymore. But I'm talking about the 2 children who were in the vehicle with you when you were intoxicated because you had smoked 3 bowls of marijuana. I'm talking about Emily is one of the juveniles, and the other juvenile is Justin. So how do you know them?
They're my ex-girlfriends.
What you say, Emily, was-
Oh, Emily's her daughter, and the little boy was her little boy.
You mean the little boy was her
Little boy,
what?
Yes,
Was
was
in-
Emily's boyfriend.
your ex,
Yes. Emily is her daughter, and the little boy was her boyfriend.
If I may speak now.
oh yeah, I need to explain this
Yes.
because,
So he was in a dating relationship with Emily's mother at the time.
oh,
The
so
little,
he's saying that Emily is the girlfriend of the boy who's in the vehicle?
correct. They were teenagers, middle schoolers that are dating this. So it's Emily is his ex-girlfriend's daughter, and the other child in the other paragraph that was under 15 was Emily's middle school boyfriend. And he was giving Emily's boyfriend, the other child, a ride home around Christmas time.
Middle school children are dating now, have boyfriends and girlfriends?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well, I mean, you have no room to speak, because let me just tell you, you did 3 bowls of marijuana and then you are driving children around.
No.
So you should not have been there anyway. You should have said, I can't drive them, I'm too high. But I guess if you're too high, you don't tell people you're too high because you're too high. Well, I hope Child Protective Services is involved with them.
Yeah.
But here, this is why we have issues, because children are being allowed to be in the care of someone who's done 2 bowls of marijuana. And then middle school children have boyfriends and girlfriends. That never happened with Laura Ingalls. How do you spend your time? Doing what?
If I don't do roofing, I tie rebar daily. Because of the conditions of the time where sometimes it rains, sometimes it don't, sometimes I work, sometimes I don't, so I work.
Okay, you're mumbling and the court reporter can't pick it up and I can't hear you.
I said I do roofing and I tie rebar, but because of the weather, sometimes it rains, sometimes it don't. There were times where I don't work, so I started working at Golden Chicken instead. So I'd be able to work more or less, my 40 hours, maybe more if I could get extra hours.
So do you think it's dangerous to be on a roof and high?
Actually,
Or you just smoke on your off time?
well, I smoked because it was really the holiday, but yeah, it was really the off time, I guess, since we didn't work.
I mean, it was Christmas. So instead of celebrating Jesus's birthday, you decided to do bowls of marijuana. Alrighty.
Guess at the-
Do you have any children?
I'm at,
How old are you?
I'm 29.
All right. Is there anything else you think I should know about you before I sentence you?
Made a mistake.
No, I mean, it's not a mistake. You made choices.
I made bad choices,
All right.
and trying to fix them any way I can.
Mhm.
I feel better for myself as well.
All right. All right. And the cause number ended in the W. The court is going to sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 5 years. This is to run concurrent with 2024 CR 6751. Taking in consideration night mag number 74392. All right. Now, I do realize that when I say 2 to 3 bowls of marijuana, it's not actual bowls, but you do have an issue with drugs. I think we can all agree with that. So other than marijuana, what else have you used?
That's when I was out before I got in custody.
Mhm.
It really was just marijuana. Like I said, it was Christmas, so I got a little more excited.
When's the last time you used?
Before I got locked up.
Okay. There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. I'm going to want testing for levels. If those levels go up, let me know, because a motion to revoke will probably be filed. You understand? There's to be DWI intervention. VIP course. I'm gonna do a driver's license suspension for 2 years. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. And he's not allowed to transport minors. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's going to be 120 sober meeting days. 120 sober meetings in 120 days. 200 hours of community service restitution. How far did you go in school?
I graduated, I got my GD.
All right, what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life? Do you just want to do roofing?
To be honest, I'm trying to go back to HVAC. I was already going, but because I was working and then I'd come out late and I didn't have the transportation, so sometimes I would miss.
All right, so let me just tell you something about this court. With regards to HVAC and all of these other things that people say they want to do, if you're in this court, if your occupation requires you to go inside someone's home, then I require that you let them know and they be put on notice in the form of a letter of your charges. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
But there'll be a 200 hours deduction of community service hours if he obtains some sort of trade school certificate. And there'll be field visits one time per month for 3 months. Probation, is there anything else he needs? All right, next we're going to move on to 2024 CR 6751. Court is going to sentence you to 5 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. This is run concurrent with 2024 CR 10332W, taking consideration NIGHTMAG number 743942. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, tests for levels, and probation. We can go ahead and do a TAP evaluation out of custody, just so we'll have it on file. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. There's to be no transportation of minors. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. 120 sober meetings in 120 days. 200 hours community service restitution. Again, if you provide a completion of trade school, then that will be deemed satisfied. Field visits one time per month for 3 months. And there's to be no contact with Jordan Andrew Anderson. And also, he's not allowed to reside with minors. So if there are minors in the home, he's not allowed to stay there. All right. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, You do not have the court's permission to appeal in either of these cause numbers. Do you understand? Because these are felony convictions, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. When you're driving and you know you're intoxicated, number one, you should not be driving. Number two, you should not be driving with children in the vehicle. Anything could have happened. You could have been in an accident and those two children would have been killed. And guess what? Then you would have been boohooing and crying about how you didn't mean to do it. It was Christmas and I'm just celebrating Jesus's birthday by getting high. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. In this court, communication is key. If there's an issue that you need help with, call the probation officer. If you feel like they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court. You understand? All right. Good luck to you. Do you all have the, for me to sign? And counsel, do you have your witnesses here or? Is it Christina Barboza? Okay.
She's also a Spanish speaker.
Okay. Then we will speak for double duty. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 4766, State of Texas versus Herbert Morales Abando. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state, for the defense?
John Reitmeyer.
And are you Mr. Morales Obando?
Yes,
All right, we have an interpreter here. Could you raise your right hand for me, please?
yes, Your Honor.
You do solemnly swear and affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God.
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand if you will state your name for the record.
Arlene Abrams, license number 2081.
All right, in this case, the defendant pled no contest to injury of a child on September 24th, 2024. Defense waived PSI, is that correct?
That's correct.
Right. And so we're set here today for sentencing. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 6 years in the prison. The state opposes your application for community supervision and deferred adjudication. And there's an affirmative finding of family violence. State, do you have any witnesses?
We do not.
Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Yes, Judge, we have one.
All right, just one moment off the record. Yes, the stipulations are not in this file for some reason. All right, no problem. All right, we can go back on the record. And I'm sorry, witnesses?
Yes, Judge, we have one.
All right. This witness is by Zoom. State, do you have any objection to the witness appearing by Zoom?
We do not.
Right. Defense, do you have any objection to the witness appearing by Zoom?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Morales Abando, do you understand that you can have witnesses present in the courtroom to testify?
Yes,
Did you understand that today the witness Christina Barboza is appearing by Zoom?
yes.
Do you have any objection to her appearing by Zoom?
No.
No,
All right, Ms. Barboza, if you can unmute for me, please, and raise your right hand. I need to see your hand.
She's a Spanish speaker, Judge.
Ah, sorry.
¿me escucha, señora Barbosa?
Sí, lo escucho.
Ok, levante la mano derecha. La juez tiene que ver la mano de usted en la pantalla.
La mano derecha.
Sí. Yes.
Gracias. Do you solemnly swear and affirm
Usted jura solemnemente y afirma que el testimonio que dé aquí va a ser la verdad y solo la verdad, con la ayuda de Dios.
Sí,
Yes.
All right, you may lower your.
Que puede bajar la mano.
State your name for the
Diga
record.
su nombre para el acta, por favor.
mi nombre es Cristina Barbosa.
My name is Cristina Barboso.
All right. Everyone, if you will, please make sure you whisper.
Por favor, asegúrese que hablen todas las demás gentes.
Right.
Ok, es su testigo. Gracias, Cristina. ¿Cómo conoce usted a Herbert?
Lo conocí porque él es hermano de mi amiga.
I met him because he's the friend of my He's a brother of my friend.
Okay.
Are you
¿Usted está casada con él?
Disculpe, ¿cómo?
I'm sorry, what do you say? Can you repeat?
¿Usted está casada con él?
No,
No.
¿Usted tiene hijos con él?
sí,
Yes.
¿Cuántos hijos tienen ustedes?
tenemos un hijo.
We have a boy, a son.
And
Y
before
antes de que arrestaran a Herbert,
No sé,
for you
no,
as a child?
¿me escucha?
ahora sí, pero no, de primero no escuché.
Can you repeat the question? A ver, escuché. Antes de que arrestaran a Herbert, ¿él le daba a usted, proveía para usted y para el niño? ¿Se lo mantenía, digamos?
Sí, él, él era el proveedor de la familia.
Yes, he was the family provider.
Who else did he
¿Quién más a él proveía para quién más? ¿A quién
Repita,
más le daba él? ¿A quién más proveía él?
a mí, a sus hijas y o sea, la familia.
Me, his daughters, and the family.
Ok.
Was it a large family?
¿Era una familia grande?
Sí, sus dos hijas y yo.
Yes, he has two daughters and myself.
All right,
Okay.
just one moment. Excuse me, everyone, stop talking. We're on Zoom and it's hard for the interpreter to hear the witness and it's hard for the witness to hear the interpreter. So everyone, please stop talking until we finish this hearing.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. You may proceed.
Since Herbert was
Desde que-
in a hardship,
Sí,
Es que cuando usted habla se corta y no escucha, no se escucha nada. Creo que es la señal.
you can hear. I'm going to repeat the question.
since Herbert
Desde
has been
que
arrested,
arrestaron a Herbert,
this has been a
¿ha
hardship.
sido difícil para usted su situación?
Sí, para mí y para sus hijas también, porque él era el proveedor de sus hijas y de mí también.
Yes, for me and for his daughters, because was the provider for uh, all of us, his daughters and me.
Herbert. Is that better? Okay. When Herbert was with you before the arrest,
Herbert estaba con usted antes del arresto.
he appeared to be a caring parent.
Él parecía ser un padre amoroso.
Sí, sí, eso me enamoró de él, que él era un buen papá con su hija.
Yes, that's why I fell in love with him, because he was a good father to her daughter.
Now, you do
Ahora
understand
usted
here
entiende
that the judge is
que
going
la juez va a determinar la sentencia de este caso, ¿verdad?
Sí,
Yes,
and
Y
do you
usted
understand
entiende
that there are some options
que
available?
hay varias opciones disponibles para la sentencia.
sí.
yes,
And of the
Y de
options
las opciones
being prison
de ser
or
la
term of
prisión
probation,
o la libertad condicional,
what would you ask the judge?
¿qué le pediría usted a la juez que hiciera?
Que le dé la libertad provisional porque sus hijas y yo lo necesitamos.
to give him probation because his daughters and myself need him.
I'll pass the witness.
Eso, señor.
Any questions?
Yes, Judge.
And I'm sorry, could you pass that to him? Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Barbosa, can you hear me?
¿Me escucha, señora Barbosa?
Sí,
Yes,
Okay, so I have a few
Tengo
questions
unas
for you.
par de preguntas para usted.
sí, dígame.
You
yes.
mentioned that
Usted
you
mencionó
have children
que usted
with
tiene
Mr. Obando, correct?
hijos con el señor Obando, ¿verdad?
Sí,
yes.
Okay, and how old is the
¿Qué
child?
edad tiene el hijo?
tiene 7 meses.
He's 7 months old.
Okay. And you also
Y
mentioned that
usted también mencionó
he's a caring parent
que él es un padre cuidadoso
Sí,
Yes,
and that you fell in love with him
y que
because
usted se enamoró de él
good father to
porque
his
él era buen padre para sus hijas.
sí,
Yes.
Okay. You're aware that the
Usted está
victim in this
consciente que la
case
víctima, en este
is
caso,
his daughter.
es su hija.
Sí,
Yes.
And do you know
¿Usted sabe
any of the facts?
alguno
of
de
the
los
case?
hechos del caso?
¿cómo?
Excuse me?
Do you know of
¿Usted
any
sabe de
facts
los hechos del que
of
pasó
this
en
case?
este caso?
Sí,
Yes.
Did you ever get to see
¿Alguna
the
vez usted
injuries that
las
were on-
lesiones que estaban en la niña?
sí.
Yes.
So
Entonces,
as a parent, how
como
does he
padre,
discipline his children?
¿cómo disciplina él a sus hijos?
Repita, no, no se escuchó.
So as a
Como
father,
padre,
how does
él,
Mr. Obando
¿cómo
discipline?
el Señor Orlando disciplina a sus hijos?
Yo sé o sea, no está bien, pero yo sé que él lo hizo en un momento que se salió de sí, pero yo sé que él es un buen papá.
I know that what he did is not right. I know that he did it in a time that he lost control of himself, but I know that he's a good father.
Y
So
todos
you,
We're all human.
somos humanos y cometemos errores y por un error no podemos pensar que una persona es mala solo por un error.
Permítame.
We're all humans. We all make mistakes and not
Excuse
just.
me, we are on the record. I don't know how many times I have to tell y'all, please do not approach while we're on the record. There's a sign on the computer that says, don't approach while we're on the record. We're on the record, everyone. It is so hard for the interpreter to interpret what we're all saying. We're off the record. What we're all saying, because we're all speaking at different tones. We're speaking fast, we're speaking soft. And then we have somebody who's on Zoom who's speaking soft, and she's got to interpret everything that everybody else is saying. And then she's got to interpret what the person on Zoom is saying who's speaking low and in and out. So do not approach while we're on the record. And when we're on Zoom and we have an interpreter, everybody just stop talking. All right, we're back on the record.
Repita lo que había dicho, por favor. Que no-
Que yo entiendo lo que él me está preguntando, pero lo que yo digo es que una persona no se define por un error que cometa. No podemos decir que una persona es mala solo porque cometió un error.
Permítame.
I understand what you're saying, but we cannot define a person for a mistake that person made.
but you understand
Pero
that
él entiende
this was not just
que
one
esto
mistake.
fue no nada más un error,
He didn't
¿verdad?
hit her
Porque
only
él
one
no
time,
nada más le pegó una vez,
right?
¿verdad?
Lo que yo entiendo es que solo fue esa vez, porque fue la única vez que yo sé que él le pegó a la niña.
Permítame.
What I understand it was that was the only time, because as far as I know, that is the only time he hit his daughter.
I'm talking about how many times he hit her
No,
that time.
Yo estoy hablando de cuántas veces le pegó él esa vez.
Ok, yo no sabría decirle porque yo no puedo decir eso porque yo no lo vi.
I couldn't be able to tell you because I did not see that.
That's right. So then
Exacto.
you were not there,
Usted no
correct?
estaba ahí, ¿verdad?
Ok, sí, pero usted no puede
Yes or no?
decir.
¿Sí o no?
No.
No.
No further questions.
Son todas mis preguntas.
Nothing.
Es todo.
All right, so I have a question. Is she the Christina who is listed in the
Ella
police
es la
report or no?
Cristina que está
Because there is a witness
listada
in the
en
police report.
la lista del
as
reporte de
Cristina
policía que
Barbosa.
hablan de una Cristina Barbosa.
So
Esa
that's-
sería ella, su señoría.
So, any objections to the
Entonces,
court?
¿alguna objeción de que yo le haga preguntas a ella? No.
All right, Ms.
La
Barbosa.
juez tiene preguntas para usted, señora Barbosa.
Christina
¿Es
Barbosa,
usted
who
Cristina
was at the
Barbosa,
location
la
when the
que
police
estaba en
arrived
el lugar
to
cuando
speak
llegó
to
la
the-
policía para hablar con la persona que se quejó? ¿Es
Sí.
usted ahí?
Yes.
All right, so in the police
Entonces,
report,
en el
it
reporte de
states on
policía
page
dice en la
2A,
página 2 de 8 páginas,
CPS
CPS
continúa
continúa un seguimiento, informa que van a tener
because the
posición
safety
de
plan
D o no por el plan de seguridad
to be
no se
established.
puede establecer.
Prior to leaving,
Antes de salir de la testigo número 3, que ese es usted,
victim one
llamó a la
and
víctima
Officer
1
Cerner
y el oficial
three
Cerna
telling
oyó
the
que,
child,
que usted le dijo a la
"Do not
niña,
tell them
no
anything."
les digas nada y cállate.
No, yo no
want to
dije esto.
¿Alguien,
I didn't say that.
Does anyone want to address what's in
¿alguien
the
quiere hablar de
stipulations?
los acuerdos, de lo que están en las estipulaciones?
Well, she's denying it at this point, Your Honor, so I think
No
it's
está
pretty
negando,
clear that
solo
this
quiere
witness is
hacer
not
la
very
duda.
credible.
Yo no creo que sea muy creíble este testigo.
All right, would you like to address that with her,
¿Quiere
counsel?
hablar con él? Eso.
No entendí.
No, no, espera un momentito.
Christina,
Cristina,
what the judge read off
lo
was
que la juez leyó estaba en el reporte de policía, de que ha sido admitido como evidencia ese reporte.
your testimony,
Entonces, es el testimonio de usted
statements about
de
you
que
are false.
esas declaraciones sobre usted son falsas. Está ahorita diciendo que lo
No
que
enten-
dice ese
no ent-
reporte es falso.
No, ok. Pero yo escuché que dijeron que yo dije que no dijera a la niña. Yo no dije eso.
I
O a
didn't
lo
say
mejor no entendí lo
about
que ella
me
dijo.
telling the girl not to say anything. I didn't.
All right, so, and
Creo
here's,
no entendí lo que ella dijo lo último.
It's.
Could you repeat
Está
that,
en
No
please?
entiendo lo que ella,
porque se
me
está
está,
cortando.
es que no
¿Quién es
entiendo
ella?
lo que ella está tratando de preguntarme.
I don't understand what she's trying to ask me.
All right, so, and then here's the other
Entonces,
thing that I
aquí
would like
está
for
la otra
parties to
cosa que
clear
yo
up for
quiero que
me.
las partes me aclaren.
In the
En las
stipulations,
estipulaciones
says
dice
that this
de que
incident
este
occurred
incidente
on Monday,
ocurrió el
January
lunes
15th,
15 de
or
enero
Tuesday,
o
January
martes,
16th.
enero
It states
16.
the
No es
only
para usted.
reason the
Y
police
dice
were
que la única
called
razón por la
is
que
because
llamaron a la
another
policía
witness,
es
not
porque
this
hubo
witness,
otro testigo,
sent
no
in
este
photos.
testigo. Otro
So my
testigo
other
mandó
question has to
fotografías.
do
Entonces, mi otra pregunta
with,
tiene que ver con
was this witness who is
este
called,
testigo que llamó.
did she know
Ella
about what had happened
sabía
and just
lo
didn't
que
call the
pasó y
police?
simplemente no llamó a la policía.
¿La testigo o yo?
The witness or me?
Anybody wants to?
Miss Barbosa,
Señora Barbosa,
did you know
¿sabía usted
that the defendant
que el acusado
hit his daughter
le había pegado a su hija
and not reported to the police?
y no se reportó a la policía?
Cuando él llegó a la casa, si ustedes chequean el registro de llamada, quien llamó a la policía cuando él estaba en la casa para que él fuera arrestado fui yo.
If you can check there, when he got to the house, the one that called the police when he got arrested was me.
Well, I know, but did you
Ya
know
sé. Pero mi pregunta es, ¿usted sabía
that he had hit his daughter?
que él le había pegado a su hija?
No, porque cuando él le pegó a la niña, yo no estaba ahí, pero yo después sí supe porque cuando tomaron la foto yo estaba ahí. Pero
No,
yo
I
no,
didn't, permítame. No, I didn't because when he hit his daughter, I wasn't there. But when they took the pictures, I was there.
When the police was there, you
Cuando
were
la
there.
policía estaba ahí, usted también estaba ahí.
sí,
Yes.
Nothing further, Judge.
Anything else?
I follow just one.
Una pregunta más.
Christina, I
Cristina,
believe the questions that they're
creo que las
asking about-
preguntas que le están haciendo son de unas fotografías que se tomaron y después se enviaron a la policía.
sí, las
¿Sabe de lo
tomó,
que le estoy hablando?
sí, yo sé de las fotografías que
do.
están hablando.
I know about the pictures you're talking about. Okay.
Did you see those
¿Usted
photos
vio esas fotos
or after?
antes o después de que arrestaron a Herbert?
Después que arrestaron a él,
After he
porque
was arrested.
cuando llegó el paquete, como las pruebas, porque yo antes no vi esa foto.
Because when the package arrived with the pictures, because I hadn't seen those pictures before.
No.
Es todo, señoría.
Any other questions?
No questions.
No, ya no hay
All right, is this witness excused?
She is.
Gracias.
All right, any other witnesses, counsel?
Es todo para usted. ¿Algún otro testigo? ¿Usted quiere hablar con la juez?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Sí.
Yes.
ayuda a Dios.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the
No
record.
diga su nombre.
Mi nombre es Herbert Estuardo Obando Morales.
My name is Herbert Eduardo Morales Obando.
All right, counsel, do you wish to ask some questions or did he just wish to make a statement?
I believe he just wished to make a statement. I will not be asking any questions.
All right, so sir, if you wish to make a statement, the state will have an opportunity to ask you questions. Do you still wish to make a statement?
Sí.
Yes.
You may make your statement.
Ok. Lo siento mucho por lo que pasó.
I'm very sorry about what happened.
Estoy consciente de todo el problema que he causado.
I'm aware of the problem that I caused.
Siento que me pasé de control.
¿Qué?
Siento que me pasé de control.
I feel that I lost control.
Nunca me imaginé que esto iba a pasar.
I never thought this was going to happen.
Que iba a poner en problemas a mi familia.
That I was going to put my family in trouble.
Ahora creo que es el momento que mis hijos me necesitan y por este problema, pues, la verdad, lo siento mucho.
I'm very sorry. I know that at this time my children need me. I'm very sorry.
Tengo mi hijo de 7 meses que no lo he conocido.
I have my son, a 7-month-old boy that I haven't met.
Mis hijas en El Salvador que me necesitan.
My daughters from El Salvador that need me.
Creo que soy el único sustento del hogar
I'm the only support
que,
for the house.
que trabaja para ellos.
I'm the only one that works for them.
A la verdad, ellos no tienen ninguna ayuda del gobierno.
Honestly, they don't have any government assistance.
Gracias a Dios, mi hijo sí.
Thank God my son does.
Y nomás lo siento mucho.
It's just that I'm very sorry.
All right, any questions?
Yes, just briefly. Mr. Obano, how old was your daughter when you hit her?
Tenía 8,
8,
7.
7 years old.
Did she deserve to get hit that much?
¿Ella se merecía que usted le pegara de esa manera?
No,
No.
So you mentioned that you're sorry for what you did. Are you sorry for what you did because you were caught?
Because
You were caught?
usted dice que siente mucho lo que usted hizo. ¿Usted siente mucho lo que hizo porque lo cacharon?
no sucesivamente.
¿Perdón?
No sucesivamente.
No sé, ¿no qué?
No, o sea, son problemas que estaban pasando en la casa.
No, there were problems at the house
Me pasé de control.
and I lost control.
And you took your control out on an 8-year-old?
¿Y usted agarró su ira fuera de control en una niña de 8 años?
El problema es que mi mamá me estaba corriendo de la casa.
The problem is that my mom was kicking me out of the house.
Mi hija me estaba dando problemas en la escuela.
My daughter was having trouble at school.
Y la verdad, pues, nomás fue un momento de ira.
It was just a rage moment.
Por eso es lo que lo siento.
And that's what I'm very sorry.
So were you mad because your mom was kicking you out, or were you mad because of your daughter's performance in school?
Eran ambas cosas.
Both things.
So the way to release your anger was grabbing a belt and hitting your 8-year-old daughter multiple times.
Cinturón y pegarle a su hija de 8 años muchas veces.
No fue muchas veces, nomás fueron 2 veces.
It wasn't that many times, it was just only twice.
It was only twice.
Solamente 2 veces.
Sí.
Yes.
No further questions, Judge.
Son todas mis preguntas, señor.
Any questions?
No questions.
All right, any other witnesses?
No.
All right, the court will hear argument. State, you're opposed?
We are, Judge.
Court will hear argument.
Well, as the court knows, as part of the stipulations, we've also included the photographs. The defendant stated that he is sorry, but if he was truly sorry, I don't understand how hitting an 8-year-old with a belt twice is consistent with the photographs that the court has to their disposure in front of them. I don't believe that this defendant in particular would be a good candidate of probation, given the excessiveness of the assault that was conducted on an 8-year-old. Given the extent of the injuries, I just don't believe that this is an appropriate case for probation, so we asked for the max. At this point, it would be the cap of the 6 in DDC, 6 years.
Defense.
Contrary to what the state says, I believe this is a good case for supervision, whether it be deferred or even straight probation. Simply because my client could benefit from anger management classes, parenting classes, things of that sort of thing. I don't believe he would be able to really get that kind of help if he is incarcerated. Based on that, based on the testimony of his family here who depend on him, we would ask that the court impose a sentence of supervision. We would respectfully request deferred and add any sort of conditions that would allow him to achieve those type of classes. Alternatively, if deferred can't be given, we would ask for straight probation.
All right, so one of my other questions, this witness, is she the biological mother? Not that that means anything. She's the stepmother or biological mother of the complainant?
No, there's no relation. She has no blood relation to.
That's correct.
All right. And then he did state that his mother was kicking him out of the home.
He did say that.
All right. Why was she kicking him out of the home?
Tenía problemas con mi padrastro
I had problems with my stepfather.
y me metí porque la verdad mi padrastro es una gran persona, él es el que me está pagando el abogado en vez de mi mamá.
And honestly, my stepfather is a great person. He's the one that is paying for the attorney instead of my mother.
Y solo porque me metí a defenderlo de un problema que tenía él con ella,
So they were having problems and I stepped in to defend him.
mi mamá me empezó a correr y me estaba pegando.
And my mom was hitting me and started, she was kicking me out of the house.
Estaba en una posición económica que no podía irme de la casa.
And I was in a economical or financial situation that I could not leave the house.
Okay. And are you here, because I noticed that you're not a citizen, are you here legally?
No soy ciudadano, entré por asilo.
I'm not a citizen. I have, ¿le dieron el asilo?
No entré con mi hija.
I
entré.
applied for asylum with my daughter.
Oh, okay. All right, the court is going to find you guilty. There's to be no contact with minors. There's to be no contact with the complainant, Jaslyn, Jazlyn Obano. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no illegal reentry to the United States, and the court is going to sentence you to 6 years in prison. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a conviction and it's a felony, and because it's an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Sí.
Yes.
And of course, you'll receive credit for any time that you've been in custody. All right, we can go off the record. I want to let you know that I listened to all of the testimony that was given to me, and I always reread the stipulations and everything. All right, thank you. Thank you, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
May I be excused?
Yes. All right, everyone, you can talk as much as you want to now. And anybody who's ready, just let me know.
Information on that one empty.
Okay, awesome.
Yes. So we looked at his app and he doesn't have a dual diagnosis. So because of his substance use history, he doesn't meet criteria. So the LPC that does the eval said that she could have him reassessed. But that the Tacoma program might come back with the same thing, that he doesn't have a substance use issue. So that's why he wouldn't be able to go to DDR. So
See,
she,
his substance abuse comes in when he's not on his meds, which
yeah,
is usually.
well, and he self-reported that he hasn't drank since in a while. So that's why they can't, like, because it's self-reported, they can't just be like, looking at historically. So because he's not reporting any type of issues, they can't give him that dual diagnosis.
Okay.
And then she said, if we did go that route, the first appointment for Takumi isn't until early November.
Okay. All righty.
Okay.
All right, let's go back on the record on Jose Caceres. I'm sorry? Oh, when I say back on the record, it's like from way back when we did this, I think on Monday. So I'm gonna call it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So what I'm being told is that he's saying he doesn't have any type of drug or alcohol issue. So that's why they're not accepting him with DVR.
I got you. Yeah, that is my understanding too, is it's a congenital medical issue.
Okay. So, all right, we're gonna go on the record. We're gonna figure out what we're gonna do.
There's also a 6-month backlog for DDR, I think.
Well, they said that it would probably be November, but all right, let's go back on the record. Court is calling 2022 CR 0057 State versus Jose Caceres. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Raymond Saldana.
Defense?
Jonathan Ross for Mr. Caceres.
And are you Mr. Caceres? Sure. All right, previously the court found violation of condition number 4 true. The only issue that we were trying to address was housing and mental health issues. And defense, you've had a chance to, I guess, did you speak with his grandmother or no?
No, I confirmed it is her phone. She identifies herself on the voicemail. And I also exhausted all the other leads for family members. Just over several days, we were able to get a response on that, unfortunately. We did contact PICU, the population control officer at the in judicial services, and they provided a variety of different options. The ones that looked applicable to Mr. Caceres were Haven for Hope and Cross Point. They provided some transitional housing for people who have situation.
All right, and probation?
Yep.
So do you think then a good fit would be a referral to Center for Healthcare Services and for placement with Haven for Hope?
I think that would be appropriate. On his. So we could also include, I mean, he can still do MIG.
Okay.
And they would still pair him up with the center and the Genesis program. So we could do that.
All right.
I believe that was ordered.
All right, so this is what the court will do. Both parties agreed to deny the motion, the motion and not revoke. So the court is going to alter and amend conditions, and these are my conditions, and I need you to listen to them very carefully, okay? 1, I'm not going to allow you for now to reside with anyone in the elderly population.
Okay.
Because you're on probation for injury to the elderly.
Okay.
So maybe that's not a good population for you to mix with.
Actually,
Hold on, just listen.
Okay. So you're not going to be, that means you can't reside with your grandmother. Okay. There's to be a referral to the Center for Healthcare Services. You're going to be on the mid caseload, and I'm going to ask that he be referred to Haven for Hope for housing. Now, if there's another placement where it's not with elderly persons, then you can always address that with probation, and I'll have them review it to see if it's an appropriate placement. You understand? And then there's going to be field visits 1 time per month. For 3 months. And then to continue for 3 months after he's stabilized with housing and his mental health care. And then after that time, it'll be at probation's discretion.
Yes, Judge.
All right, is there anything else that you need from the court?
No.
Is there anything that you do not understand?
No,
All right, so we can go off the record. This is what I want you to remember. In this court, communication is key. And because of your mental health issues, communication is going to be very key for you. If there's an issue, talk to probation. If you're thinking about not taking your medications, talk to your doctor. You understand? And if you feel they're not addressing anything, if I'm here, you can always come back here. Do you understand? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No.
All right, so from here on out, you know you're looking at 6 years in prison if a motion to revoke is filed, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, counsel.